So if I can summarize a little bit as to the whole purpose and advantage of JingSwap, especially for, for people that are not really familiar with institutional kind of swaps or like swaps that have deal with a huge amount of assets, right? I mean, for the most part, whenever I'm swapping assets, it's usually just either like $50 or a couple $100, right? So JingSwap allows a whale with a large amount of assets to swap their assets currently at the moment on stacks so that essentially they basically experience zero slippage on their swaps. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So again,
And
if you swap $50 or, in this case, $25,000, you will get, as you can see, for example, Jing Oracle price 307 Satoshis per STX. That's the exact swap you see, the exact rate you see, the Oracle price is the rate that you get. That's it. Whereas on the AMM, as you can see, the rate is going to swing against you. Depending on which side you are, it's going to be lower or higher, right? But it's going to be a little less advantageous for you because of this, liquidity constraint that I'm trying to explain, and the bonding curve mechanism, which is it's working as designed. But if the liquidity is too small to cater for your swap, then you'll incur a significant amount of slippage. So we're talking $20,000, but I've never seen any larger swap than 25 or like let alone $50,000. And the simple reason is because if you were to swap that in one go, you would incur that even a higher slippage, 5%. So we're talking thousands of dollars just lost because of that constraint. So they simply go, our whales, our own whales, stacking pools, right? Stacks miners who get the Coinbase reward in STX, and they need to swap it back to Bitcoin so they can, commit Bitcoin back into the POX mechanism. Our own whales are going to centralized exchanges, and the number one mission was to cater for real users, our own whales, and give them a venue where they can actually come back and swap on chain and don't lose any money on the swap.
and in this entry example that we've been talking about, what is this number right here representing at the bottom right?
Sure. So this is the difference between in this case, this swap was swapped on Jing. So the rate 307 sats per STX, that's the exact rate of the swap. You can do the division and you'll get that number between the output and the input, obviously, right? That's the rate, simply put. And the AMM's rate equivalent is a historical estimation. We are observing all of these swaps that happen on AMMs, right, for similar sizes, and then we estimate how much would have been that rate. And then if you do the difference times the size times the conversion back to fiat, the dollar, that's how much you lose in dollar terms. $1,000 for $25,000 worth of swap. So
Okay.
obviously this is going to improve, right? I just want to say that out
Yeah.
loud as well. I think it's important to say that we have venues out there like AMMs, which are very smart and they're gaining traction, hopefully. But in the meantime, this allows our own whales to come and make their own market directly on stacks rather than having to go to a centralized exchange, which has other benefits.